Hey,
Hey, connection's way better. Got it.
yeah, it's way better. Thank you for hopping on.
Thank you for having me again.
Yeah, no problem. Welcome to episode 183 of the Bloodstick. I'm here with Dupree from Southern University, and I'm happy to have him on to talk about his journey of how he got to where he is today. So, welcome.
Thank you.
So, tell me a little about how your how your recruiting process started out in your high school days.
hmm So basically, in high school, I was kind of a late bloomer, as you can say. My freshman and my sophomore year, I didn't really think I was going to be as good as how I am today, or I didn't really think that I could really do it. You know what I'm saying? And what really opened up my eyes is my junior year when UCLA came to see me. So that's when I started actually getting like major recruiting attention. UCLA came up to my school, USC, Boise State, other schools like that from around the Pac-12 and Mountain West. They were coming to see me and stuff. So then I realized that I was gonna have to kick it in the overgear to even be D1 eligible and to even be able to play Division 1 football because in the classroom a little bit I wasn't really, I wouldn't say not taking it serious, but I wasn't doing the best I could. And that was definitely reflecting. So over the course of my junior and senior year, I was continuing being continuously dominant on the field and just improving every year. And then I was also improving in the classroom as well. So things were looking up for me recruiting wise, and I wasn't thinking I was gonna have to go to junior college. So I ended up taking a whole bunch of classes in the summer. I ended up having to take OFL as well because I had so many classes I had to make up. I couldn't make them up all in summer school. I had to make it up with online, and I ended up passing all those classes. But when it came to the NCAA clearinghouse, they didn't accept those online classes that I had taken. So I ended up having to go to JUCO either way. Even though I tested about 1350 on the SAT, and I finished with like a 2.7 GPA in high school, which is not the best, but that's definitely good enough to go Division 1. So yeah, it was just I think it was like 1 or 2 units that I took on the OFL that the NCAA didn't take. So I was deemed a non-qualifier. So after that, I decided I had to go to junior college, and that's when I went to my first junior college in Moorpark, and that was a very good junior college. I'm not gonna lie. We weren't a very good team, if I'm being honest. But like the fact that like people getting out and getting to the next level, they were definitely good at doing that. The previous year I was there, the year before I was there, they actually had the number 2 linebacker in the class. I think his name was Drew Mathis. I don't think he did anything after college, but it's just the fact that he was the number 2 linebacker and even got to Oregon. He ended up getting going to Oregon. So that's what kind of drew me in there. So I went, played there, had lots of attention there as well. But there was just a lot going on. So I figured it was better for me to change scenery. And
Mhm.
so that's when I ended up going to LA Valley College. So when I went to LA Valley College, that's when I kind of had like my own team basically. Like I got there, I showcased my abilities, my skills, and the coaches was basically telling me that I'm an NFL talent and like I need to be able to showcase it. And they made sure that I was able to get the ball and show what I can do. So when it came to LA Valley, that's when I really had my most production and my most like that's when I really show you everything. So I feel like going to LA Valley really opened up my recruiting trail as well. Um, I
Mhm.
had I had many offers. If I have to be specific on how many offers I had, probably not just Division 1, like offers in general. I probably had over 60, 70 offers, like NAIA, Division 2, Division 3. Like when it comes to junior college, you get all that smaller stuff too. Of course, I was just looking at the Division 1 schools, really, if I'm being honest. But it's just the fact that it was over like 70 schools in general who wanted me to go there, and that was really touching, and it made me want to go harder, honestly. So with the Division 1 schools, I had almost the whole SWAC. I think the only offer I didn't have out of the SWAC was probably like Jackson State. Like I had FAMU, I had Alcorn, like I had all those. I even had some MEAC schools. I had Morgan State and other ones. I had like two FCSs. I had Austin P and another one I can't really remember. But if I'm being honest, my top three really came down to Southern, Austin P, and Grambling. And if I'm being completely honest again, my first thought when where I really wanted to go was Austin P. I'm not sure if you know, but head coach Scotty Walden was the head coach at Austin P at that time, and I feel like he did a really good job with that team. And and if I'm being honest, I knew that he was probably going to be there for probably another year, and I knew he was probably going to get another job. If I'm being honest, so I already knew like that's kind of what was going to happen. But if I'm being honest, like that's kind of what I wanted to do. I wanted to go there, be able to have a good year. You know what I'm saying, and just go wherever he goes, wherever big job. But God had other plans for me. The offer I had for them ended up not being committable, so I couldn't go there even if I wanted to. So then I went to Southern. So I went to Southern because it really felt like a family at first. If I'm being honest, like it just felt like the right move for me to go to. You know what I'm saying? They really told me everything I wanted to hear, and basically, so I mean, I feel like that was the right move for me. So that's when I ended up going to Southern.
Hmm. Uh, how long have you been playing football for?
If I'm being honest, I've probably been playing football for over. I'm 24 now, so like 6, 15, 14 years around there. I've been playing since I was like 4 or 5 years old.
Hmm. How was it like growing up in your hometown and getting offers from different schools and having uh, your teammates, coaches helping you find a way to get your foot through the door?
Um, Honestly, it was. Are you talking about like JUCO wise or like at Southern
Like high school days.
high school? Okay, all right. So in high school, it was definitely a lot of people in my corner. Of course, my parents were in my corner, and then my coaches as well. Everybody just told me. Everybody I've been told all my life that I can go to the NFL. I can go to play in a professional league somewhere. So I've always been told that all my life. So I've always had people push for me. In high school, I know my counselors and my coaches. High school, my coaches were my counselors, so they were already hands on with the recruiting process and like the clearinghouse and all that. So like they were the ones who really like were trying to get me there. I mean, it probably I don't blame them for giving me the OFL class because at the end of the day, nobody knew that the NCAA didn't take that, and the NCAA also didn't have that written anywhere. So it's that they don't take those classes. So it was just a minor mistake. But I definitely had a lot of people in my corner helping me, even in junior college too. In junior college, I also had a little bit of trouble grade wise, and my counselors and my coaches helped me over there as well. So I definitely had a good support system and had a lot of people help me get to the point I am.
Hmm. What is your biggest strength and weakness on the football field?
I feel like my biggest strength on the football field is just my versatility. I feel like I can do anything on the football field, especially like because when I was in from LA Valley, I really played wide receiver. I only played wide receiver, slot receiver. It was only certain sets that I played the tight end. And even when I did play tight end, my hand wasn't in the dirt. So if I'm being honest, that's my preferred play style. I don't mind putting my hand in the dirt, but I feel like I'm way more useful when I'm in a 2 point stance, just right off the tackle, or I'm in the slot or maybe out wide. I feel like that's when I can where I can do the most damage. But I feel
Hmm.
like anything football, like I played every position in football when it comes to football. I played center, I played tackle back in my early days, if you want to count that. But even back in high school, I played everything. When it comes to safety, corner, I played quarterback, running back, tight end. Defensive end. I played nose tackle. When it came to high school, I literally got moved all over the place in every single position on the field. So I mean, I feel like I could still do that, and I did that even at Los Angeles Valley College. I did that there as well, and I wanted to do it at Southern, but it just I my coaches just didn't see eye to eye when it comes to that. But that's neither here or there. But my versatility is what I feel like is my biggest strength. And my biggest weakness, um, I wouldn't necessarily call it a weakness, but I feel like my blocking could definitely get better. I mean, I feel like I'm definitely a good blocker now, but I feel like my blocking is probably like my weakest asset if we want to talk about my game specifically, because I feel like I do everything well when it comes to route running, catching the ball, high pointing the ball, just everything football wise and tight end wise. I feel like I do well, but I feel like I can definitely improve in the blocking aspect.
Uh, how how was the season this past season for you guys?
Season was real rough. It was a real rough season. Honestly, that's probably the worst season I've ever had in my life. It was really bad. I know it was the worst season in school history as well. It was a really bad season, and the stats of everybody on that team definitely reflect that. We had a very talented team, very talented team. Um, and if I didn't feel that way, I wouldn't have stayed there for my last year. Um, we had a very talented team, and we had a lot of young guys, and just things just weren't going our way. Things just weren't going right. I mean, I feel like it's kind of a cop out to say, but I mean, I feel like there's really nothing more to understand. It's really more to say because I mean, our coach got fired. You know what I'm saying? And it's not that didn't help anything either. So I mean, I felt like it was really just a bad year for the team and just a bad year for us. Like
Hmm.
as a general. I just tried to make the most out of my opportunities as I was there. I still played every game as it was my last, and I still played every game like we were competing for a championship. But as for um, this year, football wise, for Southern University, it definitely wasn't a good year. And I hope those boys bounce back this year as well.
Hmm. So as of today, are you in the transfer portal?
No, I'm not in the transfer portal. I'm actually gonna be declaring for the draft within today or tomorrow, and that would be all drafts. I know the USFL draft is probably already started. I know it was this week, but or something like that. Either it's either past or coming up, but definitely looking for an opportunity to get signed by one of those teams as well, as long as it's also the CFL and NFL, just whoever comes calling and whoever wants me on their team. I don't want to play for anybody who doesn't want me on their team or doesn't think is me as an asset. So
Mhm.
um, yeah, and just anybody who wants to sign me, I'm there.
What NFL player do you compare your game to?
I would compare myself to about Johnu Smith and Evan Ingram. Those are my favorite two tight ends right now. If I'm being honest, they're not the typical 6'5", 6'4" tight end. They're a little bit smaller, about the 6'3" range, 245. And that's my height. That's my build, and that's who I feel like I play like. I feel like I play like Evan Ingram and Johnu Smith, just staying like off the tackle. You know what I'm saying? Stretched out. Like you rarely see Evan Ingram and Johnu Smith putting their hands in the dirt because that's not their game. You want when you get a player like that, that's versatile like that, and who can do basically anything on the field, like both of those guys have, because they both. I know Johnu Smith this year has carried the ball multiple times as well. I don't know if Evan Ingram has, but I know Johnu Smith has, and he definitely works all around that whole Steelers offense. So I feel like guys like that. I feel like those guys I model my game after, and I feel like that's who I play like. And those are my favorite guys in the league right now when it comes to tight end play.
Hmm. Who on your in your family do you look up to?
My pops. My dad is definitely a hardworking man. He's just instilled in me from birth just hard work and just be a good person. Like just being a good person and just working hard is just things gonna look for you. Just no matter what you do, whatever you do, what field you in, just being a good person and just working hard is just that's the recipe to success. And I've just been that's been instilled in me for my whole life. So
What are some cool things to know about yourself outside of football?
Outside of football, I love to drive. I love to drive. I like to just get out the house, maybe just drive around the city, drive around, just catch some fresh air, just explore. I like new places, just to explore new places and stuff, and just things like that. I'm a real simple person. I don't really do too much, if I'm being honest. Like,
Hmm.
I wouldn't say football is my whole life, but football is definitely a big part of it. I love football. I've been playing football my whole life, so it would really be hard to think of a life without football. But yeah, I like to walk. I like to just chill. I have multiple dogs. I have 6 dogs, pit bulls. So I'll take my dogs out, throw the ball with the dogs, just be with the dogs, just try to just chill.
Hmm.
I'm not a person who does too much. If I'm being honest, travel. I like things like
Hmm.
that.
Have you been paying attention to any of the college football playoff games?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I look at all of them. Look at all of them, and I have to say the national championship is going to be a very good game.
Hmm.
I'm excited for that one.
What's your prediction for that game?
I got Indiana. I got Indiana.
Hmm.
Indiana. I didn't know about Indiana. But after they put up 56 on Oregon, I mean, it's kind of hard to argue with that.
Yeah. So,
56
how?
crazy.
So, what was your top three D1 schools before you finalized to pick to go to Southern?
Like realistically, or like what offers I had.
Realistically.
Realistically, all right. Well, the offers I had, all right. So basically, my top three was either going to be, it was going to be Austin in this order as well. Austin P, Southern, and Grambling. And I also had a dark horse in the mix, which is University of Nevada. They offered me prefer walk on, but after I committed to Southern, they were trying to make room for a scholarship spot. And if I ended up digging that scholarship, probably would have flipped my commitment, if I'm being honest. But that was a
Hmm.
dark horse in the mix that not two people, I don't like, nobody really knew about it except me and like my family. So yeah. So that was a little dark horse in the mix, but that was my top three.
Hmm. Uh, any teammates that you enjoy hanging out with the most?
Yeah. All my guys from Southern, from California, all those are my guys. Like this year, they got a lot of coaches from the West Coast, so they're recruiting the West Coast heavily. I still keep up with who they're recruiting and stuff. They got about like 10, 15 commitments from guys from California, and that's so crazy to think about because when I was at Southern, the first 2 years I was there, I was the only person from California on that team. So that was a crazy thing. So then over the years, they see the production that they're getting out of me. So they're thinking that they can go and get some more guys from California. So we ended up getting a couple more guys. We got Darren Scott from California, Matthew Berengi, Chris Garcia, guys like that. Those my guys from California. They always gonna be my dogs. And my Jermaine Minor, he's a tight end. He still goes to Southern to this day, but that was my roommate, kind of like a little brother to me. I was just making sure he was all good, making sure he made it to weights on time, just trying to be a big brother figure. But those are some teammates that definitely will still talk to and try to keep with in touch today.
Hmm. Thank you for taking some time out of your busy day to come on to talk about your journey. And I wish you nothing but the best of luck. And I'll definitely keep in touch.
Thank you, Alex. Appreciate you for having me, my man.
Yeah, no problem.
Yes, sir.